we find Solomon in our text. He's been trying to make payments on greatness. You really have to read chapters 1 and 2 to get full context on where he is in this moment. But he becomes king after one of his brothers, and he have a disagreement about who should receive the crown. His mother intervenes and reminds David that he said that Solomon would become king. And now he's placed in a position that he didn't necessarily fight for. Someone else fought for him to be in the position, and someone else wanted it. But just because someone else wants it doesn't mean that they can have it when it's already assigned to your name. I wish I could say that. Somebody thought they were going to hustle their way into the position, but they can't hustle their way into what God has already assigned to your name. And God will make someone else your advocate to where you don't even have to fight for the position, because God's going to let someone else advocate for where you're supposed to be. I know you're not in the room, but they're talking about you in the room because somebody's already advocating for your right to be in the room. All right. That should have broke something off of somebody who's been hating the fact that they're not in the room, because God says you don't have to be in the room to be in the room. Oh God. They don't tell us what Solomon is doing when Bathsheba's trying to make sure that he gets what's rightfully his. I know somebody in this room has never had someone fight for you, but I hear God saying that you don't have to have someone fighting for you to trust that I will fight on your behalf. God says there's something happening in the shadows that wasn't even supposed to be my message. But imagine being Solomon, minding his business, and all of a sudden Bathsheba is in the shadows working things out, and he doesn't even understand what's happening. I hear God saying that you can't see the shadows in which I'm preparing the way for you to step into the moment. You don't see what's happening behind the scenes. That's the only problem about being front and center, is that you have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. Oh, Solomon had some work happening behind the scenes. Let me tell you what I'm not going to do. What I'm not going to do is lose my voice, because I got something to do today. Solomon has come to this phase in his life in which he has the luxury of no longer knowing what to do. In chapters 1 and 2, we see how Solomon becomes king. And the first thing that he does is everything that he can do to get rid of his father's enemies so that he can make sure there is no threat for when he is properly positioned. And I call it the luxury of no longer knowing what to do. Because when you no longer know what to do, it means you've done everything that you can. And when you've done everything you can, then you make a demand on God and say, God, I don't have anything left to do. It's a powerful thing to know what to do with a dilemma. Oh. If I get a flat tire, it's a nightmare, because I don't know how to change a tire. But if someone else gets a flat tire, it's just an inconvenience, because they know what to do. And sometimes we're asking God to step into a situation that we haven't even stepped into. And God says, if you would do everything that you can, then I can do everything that I can. But what if God is only given according to the level in which you give? You want God to give everything while you sit on the sidelines. And God says, if I do everything and you do nothing, then this is not partnership. But partnership is when you say, God, I'm going to do everything that I can do. I'm going to make make sure that every enemy I can put under my foot is under my foot. God, I'm going to clean house. John would say it like this. Sometimes you got to prepare the way for the Lord. And you want the Lord to move in your life. But I want to understand, have you prepared the way for the Lord? Have you done everything that is within your power to make sure that when God steps into the room, that there's nothing that I could have done instead? Solomon has done everything he can. Has anybody in this room done everything they can? I've done everything that I can. I don't have anything left to give. I don't have any other enemy that I can chase down with my own resources. I've called every single person I could, and now Solomon is in the shadows. The shadows of not having anything else I can do. Because he's in a position that feels so much bigger than him. If we were looking at that ramp, we would see that he's come down to the point of what my husband would call diminishing return. That if I give any more right now, I know that I'm not going to get anything else back. It's so important that we make sure that we do everything that we can, so that when we finally begin to pray, that we show ourselves worthy of the prayers that we're praying for. God, I forgave. God, I prayed about it. God, I applied everywhere I could apply. God, this is not something I can do within my own power. I need to tap into a power that is greater than mine, but I'm not going to ask you to spend while I withhold. God, I want to come to you. Let me tell you something. If you want to borrow something from me, I would highly appreciate if you was broke when you asked for it, because I want to believe that you gave everything you could before you began to call me. God says, have you given anything towards that very thing you're praying for? You want that child to be saved, but are you saved yourself? You want that marriage to be healed, but are you healed yourself? You want that career, but what are you doing to train? What are you doing to study? I want to say that, God, I did everything that I could, so that when exceedingly and abundantly comes, that it's taking off at the end of my capacity, that it's taking off from the end of my expansion. God, I'm going to do everything that I can do. I'm going to make sure that I read every book, that I listen to every podcast, because God wants to have a well that he can pull from. God, I studied for this message, and I was studying stuff that didn't even have anything to do with this message, because when I step into the moment, I want to make sure that I've done everything I can so that you can pull from whatever you need to pull from. God says, I want to make a demand on you too, but I want to make sure that when I pull from you, that you're willing to give. And God's been pulling on somebody, pulling on you to forgive, pulling on you to go back to school, pulling on you to align yourself, pulling on you to shut your mouth and lift up your hands, pulling on you to step into the moment. God, I feel you pulling, and I've been resisting because I don't know how you're going to pull me from where I am to where you took them. But I hear God saying, if you would stop focusing on them and allow me to pull that thing on out of you. I don't know who you are, but I hear God saying, there's more in you than you think there is. There's more anointing on you than you think it is. There's more strength in you than you think it is. And this situation is pulling out what I put in you. I hear God saying, I know what I put in you, and I'm trying to pull it out. I'm trying to pull it out. You're graced for this. You're anointed for this. Pull it out. Somebody yell, pull it out. Somebody yell, pull it out. Somebody yell, pull it out. I hear heaven pulling it out. And then I want you to yell, pull me up. Pull me up. Pull me up out of this depression. Pull me up out of this second guessing. Pull me up out of this fear. Pull me up out of this grief. Solomon did everything he could. Now it was time for God to pull him on up. God, I've done everything that I can do. Oh, glory, I feel you in this space. Somebody's about to get pulled up. Somebody's about to experience breakthrough. Somebody's about to go out of this place not thinking the way that they came in. I hear God saying, when I pull you up, I'm going to pull up your mind. I'm going to pull up your language. I'm going to pull up the way that you connect. I'm going to pull up your relationships. I'm getting ready to pull. I'm getting ready to pull. I'm getting ready to pull. Lift your hands if you don't want to be missed in the pool. Getting ready. Solomon says, if you're going to pull up, don't miss me. Pull up on me. Pull up on me. God, I'm ready for you to pull up on me. God, I had man pull up on me. I saw businesses pull up on me, and all of them left me empty. But when you pull up on me, you're going to feel me like I never been filled before. When you pull up on me, I'm going to have a slingshot. When you pull up on me, I'm going to be different than I've ever been. I'm going to do something you've never seen done before. You're going to become someone you never thought you could become. And it's not going to be because you held back. It's going to be because you poured it all out. And when you poured it all out, I'm going to stretch your capacity. Sometimes we can't hear the miracles when they happen because I'm too busy hearing why I shouldn't be here. Too busy hearing my own fears, my own shame. But there is a great high place that you can go. Oh, God. And I'm going to tell you how we get there. Solomon, the most powerful thing he says in this text is that in order for him to come to God in this moment, he had to be willing to not be king. He didn't come to God with his resume. He is king. And at this point has established himself as king. But when he goes to this great high place, he says, but I am just a little child. But you king. But I'm a little child. But you grown. But still I'm a little child. But you've been in business, but still sometimes I feel like a little child. But I'm grown with grown kids, but sometimes I still feel like a little child. I didn't come to God with my resume. I didn't come to God with everything that I'd done. I came to God because of who he is. And in order for me to see who he is, it made me feel little and it made me feel small. And God says, that's how I can work with you. Because in order for you to become small, you got down on bended knees. And when you got down on bended knees, I said, now you recognize who the great I am is. Now you understand who the God you serve is. I am but a little child. Look at my grown broken self. Look at my grown worldly self. Look at my grown lustful self. God, I'm still a little child. God, I'm still a little baby. And yet you've called me to greatness. God, I'm going to have a great family. I've never seen it before. God, I feel like a little child. God, I'm too little for this. 45 years of ministry. God, I'm too little. I'm too little for this greatness. The shadows do you a favor because they make you little. And when the shadows make you little, you look a lot like Matthew 18. 2 through 4. when Jesus says to the disciples, how do we make it into the kingdom of heaven, they want to know. And Jesus tells them that, I'll read it to you. It says, then Jesus called a little child to him and set him in the midst of them. And then it says, assuredly I say to you, unless you are converted and become as little children, the shadows make me little. And I used to think that was bad, but now I'm beginning to think that now it primes me for the move of God connected to my life. I gotta get little. Oh God, I feel my help coming. Something about being little, not just little. Solomon wasn't just little. He was little and hungry. It's one thing to be little, but it's another thing to be little and hungry. Some people give up at the crossroad of little because one path requires me to be hungry and the other path requires me to quit. But God says, if you could master the art of being little and hungry, then I could allow you to enter the kingdom of heaven. Because when you enter the kingdom of heaven hungry, that's when God can really unleash the fullness of who he is. I may be little, but I'm hungry. I may be little, but I'm going to get hold of what God has placed down on the inside of me. I may be little, but I'm still king. I may be little, but I'm still anointed for this. I may be little, but there's no one who can do what I'm called to do but me. So God, I may be little, but I'm hungry. I'm hungry for you to place me into a room where you can make a demand on what you put down on the inside of me. I won't put my crown down just because I'm little. God uses little things. If you don't believe me, ask the little boy's lunch that fed the multitude. Little and hungry got together and miracles broke out. Little and hungry got together and overflow broke out. Little and hungry got together and we moved to Dallas and from Charleston, West Virginia. Little and hungry got together and it brought your hips into this room. Little and hungry got together and international ministry broke out from this house. Little and hungry got together, and that's how God's going to do it in your life. You're going to be little and hungry. You're going to try to be big, but little's going to have you, because little is the way that God moves miracle. Little. Jamel, if I could have my text in Matthew one more time. I'm almost finished. Assuredly, I say to you, unless you are converted. I looked this word converted up in the Greek. And what I saw is that it was translated converted, but a more accurate word is actually twisted. You're going to have to get twisted to become little. You're going to have to let life twist. Oh, somebody's in a twist. I'm going to have to get twisted. You're not going to do this unless you're willing to get twisted into this. God, twisted. God's been twisting you and turning you, and you're trying to figure out which way is up. And I hear God saying, you don't see it from the outside looking in, but what I see is how I'm twisting you into proper position. I'm twisting you into humility. I'm twisting you into who you need to become for the mantle that is connected to your life. You're gonna have to get twisted for this. And I hear God saying, don't resist the twist. I hear God saying, don't back out of the twist. I hear God saying, you're more flexible than you think. Twisted. Solomon said, I'm ready to get twisted. I'm in the shadows to get twisted. I'm going to do what no one can see so that I can become who God has called me to be. God says, I'm twisting you in the shadows. I'm twisting you for the greatness. I'm twisting you for the ministry. I'm twisting you for the marriage. I'm twisting you for the position. I'm twisting you. I'm going to twist you till you're little. I'm going to twist you till you lose that pride. I'm going to twist you till you lose that bitterness. I'm going to twist you till you're hungry again. I'm going to twist you until the words come out of your mouth. I'm going to twist you until the strength comes into your back. I'm going to twist you into that room. I'm going to twist you into that business. I'm going to twist you into breakthrough. The generational curse will be broken in the twisting. God, I feel you. God, you got me twisted. God, you got me twisted. Who am I going to become in this twist? I want to praise God in advance. 15 seconds of praise for who I'm becoming in the twist. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm dizzy, but I know I'm becoming in the twist. I know I've got breakthrough connected to the twist. I hear God saying, when you get out of this twist, you're going to have more leverage than you ever had, more thoughts than you ever had. I'm going to twist you into rooms you don't belong in. I'm going to twist that marriage until it looks like what I anointed. And it all happened in the shadows. In the shadows of greatness, God is twisting you. God is twisting you in the shadows. God, you got me twisted. Solomon had come to a point where he'd run out of the breadcrumbs that his dad left for him. And now he's got to come into his own. But one thing his father did teach him was about the power of shadows. Yes, there will be shadows of death, but there will also be the shadow of the Almighty. Yeah. Psalms 91:1 says, he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High, higher than my circumstance, higher than my doubt, higher than my fear, higher than anxiety, higher than my pride, higher than my ego, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.